Hello, this is Josh Oakes from MediaLeaders.com. That's MediaLeaders.com. In this video, I want to show you how to use Mailchimp, and I'll show you some of our tactical tips that we're using in Mailchimp. Now, first things first, let's dive over to Safe Smart Social. Let me show you what we're about to do, who our target demo is. We have a side brand, as you know. MediaLeaders.com is our main company, and it teaches social media safety and effectiveness to professionals and brands, but Safe, Smart, and Social teaches teens and tweens and the parents and educators of teens and tweens how they can do that. So we have this Safe, Smart, Social Summit coming up. That's a lot of S's, I know. And you can watch a video here. And really what it is a bunch of panel topics. Identity theft, how to keep kids from spending too much time, lunch and networking. And it's here in Los Angeles. We have a bunch of great speakers, as you can see. It's pretty cool. Now, we're going to send an e-blast to a bunch of people that are in our list that are principals. So, Josh, what system are you going to use? Well, we're going to jump over to Mailchimp, as I've already explained to you. Now, here's rule number one, what I've done. You're going to create a list, and if you jump into Mailchimp, you can create a list in the upper right. We already created one, and we called it the company name mailing list. Some people go, super interested people. But the problem is, if you create it super interested people, or spammers, or massive outreach, people eventually can kind of see that. So you need to be good. Put your company name on it and then put the word mailing list or newsletter or weekly list versus monthly list. You can create a couple of these. We create one, and everybody in our system goes in there. Now, next, I'm going to show you, you can look at our past campaign. Once you have a list and you've imported people into it, I click over here and I click import. We've already done that. There's a bunch of different ways to import, as you know. Upload from a CSV, copy and paste from Excel. This is the easiest. You can literally drag and drop things in here and it ends up working. It's pretty awesome. Now, once you have a few people in your list, which we have 434, you go over your campaigns, and this is where you make your emails. You can create a campaign in the upper right, and when we created one, we built this one, regular old campaign. I would suggest that you do a regular old or an A-B split. Start with a regular old if you don't know what the heck that is. If you don't know what an A-B split is, just start with that. And then I click send to the entire list for right now. Next is setup. These buttons on the bottom work really well. And then you can name your campaign. You see this. Other people see the edit subject line. You click design. You're supposed to name it. And then I click this one. I think we used this one the other day. Pre-design is nice, but it has it's too specific. I used email designer, and we started designing and picking very basic layouts. It was cool. You know what I want to do, though? I want to go back and I want to save and exit. Rather than exit, let's go back to the campaigns. Let me show you how we send an email blast. Rather than social media safety tips, I'm actually going to delete that because that's not the one we want to use right now. So let's delete. It's really smart like this. Delete makes you not be able to delete things too quickly. Now, notice how this one, S3 Summit Invite Newsletter, first 150 schools test. We went over and we tested this on the first 150 schools. So if you're starting a new business or you want to do something that's your first big e-blast, go take a small section of your list and send it to them first. Why would I do that, Josh? Well, you want to make sure you don't have any huge spelling errors or FAQs that are missing, or people go, wait, how'd you get my email? Remind me in the beginning, and stuff like that. So out of the 500 or 600 or whatever, we have 150 that we've tested. We got 11.8% opens, 17 opens, 148 people that we imported for this one, 0 clicks. That's a problem. But we're going to keep sending it because we're going to send another one in about 3 weeks and so on. So it's not bad. We didn't get any spams or any complaints or anything else. And you can view the report over here by clicking on that. And the industry average is a 1.9% click-through rate. We have a 0% click-through rate. So that will take about 24 hours for people to click on it and open it. Industry average over here is 16%. We have an 11.8% so far. So we have a little ways to go to catch up with the industry, but we only sent it a couple hours ago. So let's go back over to campaigns and let's send this darn thing out. Once you've done your test, you click over here and you click replicate. What that does is it duplicates the old email and sets it up into a new one. We replicated this first one we already sent because you can't resend it. You can't add people to it. Once you send, you can't resend. Replicate it, create a new one, which I've done right here. Now, we go through all these steps. Down here at the bottom, you can see them. Now here's what's going to be cool. Send to a new segment. We added another 350 or so emails, and we did not include the original emails in there. So what we did here is you could send it to the entire list, but guess what? The 150 people have already gotten it. So 150 out of 450 already would have it. That would be a bummer. So let's send to a new segment. So any subscribers can match any. Instead of email, it's date added. If they were added after the last campaign was sent, then there's one recipient in that system. So I clicked the little refresh button. It's important to note. And then I was able to notice that it's 289 recipients in this segment. There's other little ways to tweak that and so on. Last changed is after the last campaign was sent. Let's do it last changed right here. Let's go date added is after a specific campaign was sent. And we'll pick the last one. We'll refresh it. 289. So that's perfect because we only have one campaign. Hopefully that makes sense. Next. So now on this page, we talk about the campaign info. Now this is what you're going to see in the back end. Josh, why do you put all list? I don't get it. Well, the first one, and this is what I want you to think about ahead of time before you send things. Think about what you want it to say for the rest of your life in your inbox. Not necessarily in your inbox, but in your dashboard. Because the Mailchimp dashboard will show you, hey, you sent this, but you can't change or edit the campaign name. So S3 Summit, which is Safe Smart Social, and then Summit, invite newsletter, number 1, to all list. The last one was test to the first 150. So this one would be the rest of it, and we're going to send it. Now, what I'm also going to do to all LA list, because these are for LA people. As we add people, we're going to put different cities, and we'll know that we put LA list in there. Great. So parents and teachers attend the next Safe Smart Social Summit. This is great. We've already tested it. It looks great. From name, team at Safe Smart Social. That's kind of our official thing. Now, keep it relevant and non-spammy to avoid spam filters. This is pretty cool. It'll give you advice. It'll research subject lines and so on. All right. Let's go ahead and click on tracking. Track opens, track clicks, track plain text things. Here's what I'm going to do. S3 Summit invite newsletter and today's date, 3/7/2014. Make sure that's today's date. Sometimes when you set these up and they have a draft, the date is from the date that you started the draft. So update that. This puts your Google Analytics tracking and everything. So when they check out on your site, which we want them to buy, it puts that in the success page and so on. We can track when they bought, where they did. I don't need any of this other stuff. The goal tracking, we don't need that. Okay, let's go next. Now you get to see the email, and this is where I'm going to walk you through some of the tactical tips. Notice how we have a header up here. I'm not in love with headers up at the top. Why? Because, first of all, it pushes all the content down. But the cool thing about this header is if it doesn't appear, all the content goes up. It looks really nice. So only in Mailchimp do I believe in headers, because most email systems actually will say, they'll put a big white box here and it pushes your content down, and this is prime real estate. So Mailchimp's actually a pretty good system. Next, notice how on the right hand column, this will be mobile friendly, but on the right hand column it's just really clean, and there's a register today button and it says get ahead of the social media curve. There's not too many links, it's just very clean. Learn from more than 15 social media safety professionals, join us on this date, and then above the fold, for the most part, you've got all your links right here. You can scroll down, you can see the panel topics, you can get excited about this and so on. So, just to reiterate, we have this box that tells you, and then you can go over to our website, you can register today, you can learn all about it, and so on. Okay, and there's one last tip that we actually just added. We threw down a register here today button down here at the bottom, and that's because as people scroll through your email and they like it, if it adds a lot of value, which this event does, it genuinely adds a tremendous amount of value for people. We want to make sure that they have a next step, a call to action at the bottom, but then also above the fold on the right and above the fold here in text. So there you go. And then also here's another little tactical trick. This is why we like Mailchimp. You can click in this. We didn't have the text at first when we uploaded the picture of this building. There was no text in that. We actually clicked in here and we went over here and we clicked edit, and you can change the size. We made it more mobile friendly. It's only 800 wide in pixels, so it's easy to download. And we clicked edit, and we added that text using the Mailchimp image editor. Took about 3 minutes. It was really easy. So I encourage you to use that editor. Very, very simple. Upload your images to Mailchimp, because then it hosts them and it makes sure they always deliver and you know when people are opening them and stuff. Let's move next. So you've got your email pretty clean. 2/3, 1/3, or maybe this is 3/4 or whatever it is. And the reason we do that is because you want to give people all the good stuff here and put your little advertisement up in the right there. So now you're going to land on the text version of it. And because we made some changes, I want to copy text from HTML email. And this is what I click right there. This part was automatically generated. Most people are never going to get this, but this is a text-only version if people decide that they only want to get text from people, which is quite archaic, but it sometimes happens. And Mailchimp is the nice system because see how it walks you through these checklists? It makes sure that you don't break any rules. It's pretty awesome. It gives you the list, the subject line, you've already tested it, replies, go to this. All this cool different stuff. All right, my friends, so let's go ahead. You can schedule this, which is nice, but we want to send it right now. I think we're in the clear to do that. So let's go ahead and send it. It says you want to send it to 329 subscribers. Send now. We are good to go. High fives. Your campaign is in the send queue, and it's going to go out shortly. Very cool. Now we can go back to our past report and see all kinds of really cool stuff as well, and see this report, view the report down here in the bottom right. And once you sent it, then you can see when people are opening it, how they're opening it, who your most successful people and everything are. All right, my friends, so let's look at what we reviewed. We're selling tickets to this event, and as people join our mailing list, they get put into our Mailchimp right here. Yes, send me the 7 best online safety resources, first name, email. We had everybody in our one list that they automatically go in there. 434 subscribers, but we only wanted to send it to a subset that we added after we did our test email. Then we created a campaign. You can do that using Create Campaign in the upper right. Now we've sent both of these, so if we wanted to send another one, we would go over here and click Replicate, because you can't add people or send at all, so you have to go ahead and replicate and create a new one. I also taught you that you need to carefully plan out what's going to appear in the dashboard forever. We're going to have this company for a long time, so S3 Summit invite newsletter first 150 school test. I probably could have put first 150 LA schools. S3 Summit invite newsletter 1 to all LA list. The tomorrow or the next day or Monday we'll do Orange County list, and we're subsetting and inviting people to this conference by region. So there you go, and there's your reporting. You can view the report and so on, and you'll see people slowly open these and so on. So that is a review of Mailchimp. There's a lot more to this. It's really powerful, but I really like this system because it doesn't let you break the rules. It gives you really quick look. 4 people have already opened that one that we just sent. 1.2% open rate. That's great. 329 people. You'll also notice when people click on it right here. All right, any questions you have, you can go to MediaLeaders.com. That's MediaLeaders.com. You can click the video tab up at the top and to learn more. And you can also, my friends, MediaLeaders.com. I encourage you to learn more about the Digital Growth Summit if we have one coming up soon. And also join our mailing list on the right-hand side. You get a free videos and all kinds of really cool stuff that sometimes we charge $49 for. First name, email, and we invite you to our next events. I'm Josh Oakes. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and as always, keep it light, bright, and polite.